Roman Reigns has been the face of WWE for years, the unshakable tribal chief, the man everyone feared to cross, and the centerpiece of the bloodline. He's carried the brand on his back, headlined countless pay-per-views, and redefined what it means to be the top guy in professional wrestling. But the world shifted when he stepped into the ring at WWE Crown Jewel 2025 and suffered a shocking defeat. Bronson Reed, an imposing force in his own right, managed to topple the seemingly untouchable Reigns in an Australian street fight. And in that moment, the landscape of WWE changed. The tribal chief, who for so long seemed invincible, was suddenly humanized, vulnerable, fallible, and exposed to criticism in ways few expected. The loss was more than just a pinfall. It was symbolic. For years, Reigns had been the unstoppable juggernaut, blending brute strength with cunning in-ring psychology. His reign as tribal chief wasn't just a title. It was a statement, a power play that elevated the bloodline and cemented him as WWE royalty. Yet, facing Reed, Reigns stumbled. Every punch, every slam, every near fall carried a weight that fans hadn't witnessed before. The match ended not only with Reigns' defeat, but with a ripple effect that would leave WWE creative and fans alike questioning what came next. No longer could Reigns simply dominate every encounter. He had to adapt, adjust, and strategize for survival in a rapidly shifting environment. And then, after that fateful night, Reigns disappeared. Absence in wrestling can speak volumes. And Reigns' sudden disappearance from WWE programming sparked a wave of speculation. Was this a planned hiatus? Was it due to injury? Or was WWE quietly reworking the creative direction of one of its most valuable assets? Fans debated endlessly. Social media buzzed with theories, ranging from an impending title reclamation story to a shocking betrayal within the bloodline. We, knowing how to harness anticipation, remained silent, allowing the void to grow. And in wrestling, anticipation is as powerful as the match itself. Reigns' absence created a narrative of uncertainty, a narrative that, if used correctly, could make his eventual return feel monumental. The hints of his return are already tantalizing. Rumors suggest that Reigns could make a dramatic comeback at WWE Survivor Series 2025, likely in a War Games match against the formidable stable known as the Vision. The stakes couldn't be higher. War Games matches are brutal, punishing, and mentally draining. For Reigns, it's an opportunity to reassert dominance, reclaim narrative control, and remind fans why he is the centerpiece of the company. But the setup also introduces risk. A poorly executed return could damage the aura he's cultivated for years. Every move, every interaction, every moment will be under the microscope. And that scrutiny intensifies, because Reigns' role as tribal chief has always been as much about psychology as it is about raw power. In War Games, where chaos reigns, can he maintain that control? There are 4 potential paths WWE could explore with Reigns' return, each carrying unique implications. First, an immediate attack. Reigns could storm the arena, taking out Reed or other members of the Vision to reassert dominance without stepping into a full match. This would be a dramatic, visceral moment, re-establishing fear and authority. Second, a shift in character. Perhaps the tribal chief persona evolves. Wrestling thrives on reinvention, and Reigns could adapt his identity, incorporating the loss and absence into a deeper, more complex character arc. Third, a confrontation with former allies. The bloodline has its own tensions and dynamics. A return that involves betrayal or internal conflict could create explosive storylines, mixing legacy with intrigue. Fourth, a title resurgence. Reigns could immediately chase back into championship contention, proving he's still the best in the world. Each choice comes with rewards and risks, and WWE must balance fan expectations with storytelling logic to maximize impact. The legacy of Roman Reigns adds pressure to every move he makes. He isn't just a wrestler, he's a symbol of an era. For years, he's been the benchmark, the standard by which all other superstars are measured. Wins, losses, promos, and feuds all carry additional weight because fans have internalized Reigns as the epitome of dominance. But that dominance is fragile. The loss to Reed has exposed a vulnerability that, if mishandled, could erode that aura. Conversely, if leveraged creatively, it can make his story richer, his victories more satisfying, and his persona more human. Wrestling history is littered with examples where the once invincible champion stumbles, only to rebound with a legendary arc. The key for Reigns is execution. The risk isn't only physical, it's also narrative. Overexposure, repetitive booking, or poorly planned storylines could dilute Reigns' star power. Fans today are savvy. They demand compelling storytelling alongside high-caliber, in-ring performance. Reigns' absence and potential return must feel earned, or else the emotional investment wanes. WWE has a delicate balance to strike. They must build tension, tease conflict, and deliver payoff without stretching credibility. Every promo, backstage segment, and match adds to or detracts from the mythology that has surrounded Reigns for years. The tribal chief persona is more than a gimmick. It's a narrative fortress. A misstep could crack the foundation. And yet, the potential upside is extraordinary. Imagine Reigns returning to Survivor Series with a calculated fury, exacting revenge, reclaiming titles, and outmaneuvering challengers. The emotional stakes would be immense. Fans would relive the shock of his loss while experiencing the catharsis of a masterful comeback. Every move could be choreographed to amplify drama, every interaction layered with storytelling nuance. Reigns is a performer who thrives on spectacle, and the creative opportunities presented by his temporary disappearance could elevate his legacy to unprecedented heights. Challengers, of course, are central to this story. Bronson Reed has already shaken the foundation, but who else will rise to challenge the tribal chief? The Vision is positioned as a credible threat, but wrestling is cyclical. New faces, surprise alliances, and unpredictable events could redefine the playing field. Reigns' strength has always been in making opponents look formidable while maintaining his superiority. In that sense, the next few months could be defining, establishing who is worthy, who isn't, and how far the tribal chief's reach extends. Every feud, every match, every promo is a thread in a complex tapestry that will determine his standing for years to come. Character evolution is another compelling layer. Reigns has mastered subtle storytelling in the ring, the way he carries himself, the look in his eyes, the aura of control. Yet, a defeat provides a rare opportunity to show growth, reflection, and adaptability. Fans respond to vulnerability when it's authentic, and Reigns could harness this moment to deepen the tribal chief persona. He could explore new dimensions of leadership within the bloodline, assert dominance in innovative ways, or even display strategic humility that paradoxically reinforces his power. The next chapter in Reigns' story is as much about character depth as it is about wrestling victories. The business side cannot be ignored. Roman Reigns is a major draw, a marquee attraction whose appearances generate significant revenue and media attention. Every segment he's in is a product, every match a transaction with the audience's emotions. His loss, absence, and potential return will be carefully timed to maximize impact, not just in storytelling but in viewership metrics, pay-per-view buys, and social engagement. WWE knows that Reigns carries weight beyond the narrative. He is a brand in himself, and his handling can either amplify or diminish that brand. Strategic planning behind the scenes is as critical as in-ring execution. And while fans debate, social media explodes with speculation. Every cryptic tweet, every backstage sighting, every rumored storyline fuels anticipation. Some fans hope for a spectacular return, others predict a slow burn. The beauty of wrestling in the modern era is that audience reaction shapes narrative decisions. Reigns' story isn't being written in a vacuum. It's co-created with fan engagement, hype cycles, and cultural relevance. How WWE leverages this dynamic will determine whether his next chapter is iconic or merely serviceable. It's also worth noting the psychological dimension. A loss like the one Reigns suffered isn't just about wrestling skill, it's about mind games, ego, and legacy. He's confronted with the reality that dominance can be challenged, that reputation must be defended, and that every interaction has consequences. Wrestling thrives on narrative tension, and Reigns now faces a moment of profound tension. Reclaim his crown, redefine his persona, or risk being overshadowed. That kind of pressure produces legends or exposes cracks. How he navigates this crucible will define the next era of WWE storytelling. The strategic possibilities are endless. Reigns could return to immediate conflict, unleashing fury on those who challenged him. He could orchestrate long-term feuds that gradually rebuild momentum. He could realign the bloodline, cement alliances, and create internal conflict that enriches the narrative. Or, he could evolve into a more cerebral character, using cunning, strategy, and manipulation to dominate without physically overwhelming every opponent. Wrestling is as much about perception as execution, and Reigns' choices now will sculpt his MYTHOS. Timing is everything. A return to soon risks undercutting suspense. A return to late risks losing audience investment.